Hi, it's Brooke again with the Usborne Books and More, and I'm here to give you a little bit of information with some of our Lift the Flap, Look Inside, See Inside books. We have like 3 or 4 different versions of our Lift the Flaps, so when you're checking a title, be sure that you know what the cover looks like of the one that you're looking for, because there are dual titles as far as, they kind of overlap each other. So there may be a see inside the body, but there could also be a lift and see, or look and see the body. And they're a little bit different. So you want to make sure. And if you have any questions, you can always ask your consultant. So we would be happy to answer your questions. First, I wanted to show you Look Inside an Airport, and this is a great little book. When I went to our convention this summer, my son was fascinated with the fact that I was going to get on an airplane, and even though he's seen airplanes take off, and we have taken his grandfather to the airport before, this was something he was interested in. And so when I came back, I brought him this book, and he fell in love with airplanes. And it just tells everything about taking off, arriving at the airport, how your baggage is handled, how all your luggage goes into to the plane, how it gets to the plane, what they do to the plane before it's ready to take off, taking off the runway, and this has a little pool that takes the airplane up into the sky. So lots of interaction that the kids are going to get with this book. How do planes take off, shows them on the runway and gives them a breakdown of how they do it, what it's like in the sky to coming home. And the great thing with the Lift the Flap books is that when they're adding that second element, sensory element in with reading the book, they're going to gain more knowledge, because studies show that combining 2 elements together in literacy helps to give them a greater foundation of the information that's been presented to them. All right, and then we have How Do Flowers Grow? And this is a Lift the Flap. First questions and answers. So this is more geared, kind of the same as the airport one, which I didn't say, but probably to age 4. I mean, even a 6-year-old, though, would love this book. And I mean, my 2.5-year-old loves hearing this stuff read to her. So, it really... there's an age on our books, but I think it really just depends on the child, and sometimes children want to be read books that are lower than their level, and sometimes they want a book that's more challenging. So just always remember that when you're trying to gauge what would be a great book for a child. So anyway, so why do plants have flowers? And it goes through the different information, like it says, how do insects help plants? By taking pollen from one flower to the next. And this is great for answering some of those questions that we probably know the answer to, but sometimes we get a little stumped when our kids are asking us questions. Where do poppy seeds grow? Inside a seed pod that grows bigger and bigger. So just great information for their little minds that want to know. Great Lift the Flap, beautiful illustrations, as with all of our books. And why do leaves fall? Great information piece there on the different seasons. This book is just gorgeous, and I recommend it. Both of those were $14.99, and actually all of the ones I'm showing you today are $14.99 in this video. Great Cities, See Inside Great Cities, and See Inside Planet Earth. If you have a budding geographer or geologist, I would highly recommend these books. This one in particular is going to give you a look at 12 plus cities around the world, and just different fact-filled information about that city. So it says New York City, nicknamed the city that never sleeps. New York City on the east coast of the USA is one of the most exciting places in the world. And then it's going to give information about the Statue of Liberty and when it was unveiled, and it tells about how the statue's copper shell is held together by an iron frame. So lots of different information that I know you're going to be fascinated to learn, as well as your child is. Very intriguing and just gorgeous, gorgeous pictures as well. Gives them a little glimpse into something that they're not necessarily going to see, at least not for a little while, unless you do travel a whole lot. And then it gives you 2, 4, 6 more cities at the very back. Just it doesn't have the lift flap on it. Great book. Okay, and then See Inside Planet Earth. This is going to break down all the information that is in regard to planet Earth, from, how is it formed, to what it looks like when it's in space, what our atmosphere is made up of, how different things in our environment affect planet Earth, to the fact that the planet consists of more water than it does of soil, different temperatures, environments, from hot and cold deserts to mountains and rivers, and the importance in water and glaciers, changing climates, and then talks about saving our planet. So great information for our children to learn and know about, and just really informative. And I highly recommend this, especially a child that's into geography and wants to know more about what the Earth is like and why things work the way they do. All right, and then 2 of the last books that I want to show you. One is Big Book of Animals, and the other is 1,000 Animals. These are favorites in our house, especially, and I'm sure they would be in yours too if you have an animal lover. Beautiful illustrations. Great big fold out flaps or pages that are going to show you all the different animals. It's almost so big that I can't even pull it out. There you go. And it just gives little tidbits of information. Like, for example, it tells you how much a hippopotamus may weigh and how long it would be. Breaks all that down. Gives information about bugs and polar animals, sea creatures, the biggest, fastest, and the heaviest. Again, $14.99. And this is one of my favorites, simply because when I was 5 years old, I remember having a book that showed all the different types of bugs that there were. So it showed like spiders and different insects like ladybugs and beetles and just creepy crawlies. And I don't know. I don't know exactly what my fascination was at the time with them. I'm not necessarily a bug lover now, but I loved looking at the beautiful illustrations of those different types of spiders and ants and ladybugs and beetles and everything that was in that book. I wanted to learn more about it, but I was at a point in my life where I think I was just learning how to read, so I think it was a great way to make me realize that books were about information too and not just stories. So anyway, so as you can see me flipping through this book, it is just gorgeous, showing all the different types of animals that there are. And when I got this book from my boys, they looked at this book, I'm not kidding you, for hours on end, for probably a week, and would just study all the different animals that were in the book and ask questions. And my older one would tell my younger one all about what he was looking at and which one was which. And the great thing about this, it has a back index of all the different animals or insects, whatever type is in here. So, great book, and also $14.99. Highly recommend. All right, well, that's it for now. Thanks. Have a great day.